You are not ever alone. Unless you want to be.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Very grateful to be here. I realized that once I started following you, life got a little easier, synchronicities.
All right, thank you.
Although it's been a little tough, though, because it's a lonely feeling, because no one really understands me around where I live and stuff.
Speak a little clearer.
So it's a little hard and lonely because...
Why is it lonely? How many people are surrounding you right now?
Not right now, no.
Why is it lonely?
In my surroundings, but I try to still keep myself going with what I believe.
Yes.
And that's why I'm here.
Yes, all right, but it doesn't have to be a struggle. You can enjoy it.
Yeah. My question is, I understand that I have a blueprint that I signed up for this before I came.
Yes.
My question is, waking up before we go, is that part of the blueprint, or we're just, it's like our creator just being surprised at us that we're figuring stuff out?
When you say waking up before you go, are you referring to the idea of becoming more lucid before you die?
Yes, like that we're here and that we're learning things that not the whole people know about.
Yes, that's
Is it part of the
literally,
blueprint?
it's literally in your society called terminal lucidity, because you are now on both sides. Your consciousness is broadened to the point where you may still be somewhat focused in physical reality, but you're also focused in spirit, where you are completely lucid, completely knowing. So that can be an indication that the person is literally about to cross, that they're now lucid completely in the idea of the physical and the non-physical.
So that was part of our blueprint when we came in here, even though we just, said we're not going to remember.
It's just what naturally happens when you start waking up.
Okay.
When you start transitioning back to spirit, because in spirit, you are knowing of what you need to know. It just is there. You just know things. You just see things. You just understand things.
Can I ask if I have any hybrid children?
You do.
Thank you. I also would like to know, are we meant to be just with one person? Like, I'm not sure what you guys do, but like, I feel like so I can give you an example. I've been like on a fourth serious relationship, and some people think that's not correct, that I should have just tried the second time or the first time. But I chose to, when it doesn't work out, just go to the next one, if there is or whatever. But
well, it depends on what you mean by doesn't work out. Because again, if you're doing something to avoid a situation that you really need to look at, that's one thing. If you're recognizing that something is truly no longer vibrationally compatible with who you truly are and you need to move on, that's something very different. So it's a matter of whether you are going to or running from. It's the energy of why you're doing it that's important to understand. There's nothing wrong intrinsically in the idea, but it's about why you're doing it that makes the difference. Does that make sense?
it does make sense.
All right.
I wonder why our Creator created us, like when we're young, we have a great body, we have energy, everything, but we're dumb, so like young and dumb. And why did He make us that when we're older, we get wiser, but then we can't do the same thing with our body? Is that like a...
That's your choice. It's your choice. In other words, you've come here to learn a certain thing. A child is still very connected to spirit and still knows a lot, still has communications with spirit, can still be planning things out up until about the age of 7 or so. But then you must take on what you agreed to, which means you kind of have to erase the slate, forget who you are, so that you give yourself an opportunity to go through a process of rediscovering who you are from a new point of view. Because you see, the structure of existence never changes. What changes is your experience of it, your relationship to it, your perspective of it, and that's how existence grows. That's how creation expands. So you have to forget who you are so you can remember who you are from a new point of view and add that new experience to the totality of creation. That's why physical reality exists. It's a mechanism within existence that allows you to experience the process of creation as opposed to just instantaneously being, so that you can expand.
Will we have more longevity when 50 years from now, when open contact is a natural thing?
Yes. Yes, you're already seeing more longevity because more longevity is the product of living more in the moment, so you don't experience the passage of time so much.
And just last thing, what's the best way you think that someone can start learning how to channel?
Follow the formula.
Okay.
Now, it depends on what form of channeling you're talking about because everyone channels from time to time. When anyone is really focused on something they love to do and they don't even notice the passage of time, you're in the channeling state. In the brain, that's called gamma, between 40 and 100 cycles per second in the brain. So the idea is that everyone can channel. It's a natural thing. But the question is, well, how do you want to use that? Do you want a vocal channel? Do you want to do automatic writing? Do you want to just be more creative? You want to write? What do you want to do with it? So in the channeling state, you synthesize information more rapidly, you process information differently, you make better associations and bigger associations to things and bring information through and tap into different levels of reality to bring down information, synthesize it into what's relevant for this particular reality and put it out there in some way, shape, or form. That's what happens when you channel. So it just depends on how you wish to channel. For vocal channeling, sometimes the easiest thing to do to practice is to make sure that you have people around you that are actually asking questions they really want the answers to, because then they pull the information through you and you don't have to think about it. It's like grounding electricity into a circuit. So when people ask questions, the information comes through you because you're just acting like a conduit, and then you just let it come and ground into them.
I see that you have the moon there. What's the best way we can benefit from the moon that we have on Earth?
From the moon?
Well, yeah, is there a benefit that we have from the moon? Like it's light
The
and
moon
stuff?
is a vibrational mirror that is connected to different dimensions that allows you to get in touch with your deep emotionality and to examine yourself with introspection and honesty and really understand who you are and why you believe what you believe to be true.
Thank you so much. Much love to you.
And you as well. And of course, like anything, the moon is a permission slip.
Thank you so much, Bashar, for doing what you are doing, and thank you so much, Daryl, for being a vessel so that all the information can come across to all
It is our passion and our pleasure. I'll pass your thanks along to the channel.
So synchronicity brought me here when my pet Nils crossed over last year. I was devastated, of course, and all your videos just came on the internet. Suddenly, I have never heard about you before, and then I met with my best friend Johnny.
All right, well,
and his favorite pet Jiggy crossed over almost at the same time, so we connected, and that's why.
All right, but remember, the pet is still with you.
I know.
All right.
So I have a question. What can you tell me about my soul, my oversoul, my spirit? What can you read? What can you see?
Have you got 2,578 years?
I hope so.
What do I need to tell you about your soul? Your soul is an infinite being. The oversoul is more so. The idea is that it is different levels of representation of source, compartmentalized into what is relevant for a particular dimensional experience. So your soul is an individuated part, an aspect, a reflection of all that is. The oversoul is a reflection of a multitude of souls experiencing themselves simultaneously, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Does that help? Is that enough? Or were you seeking some particular perspective on this?
Yeah, like specifics, like every soul is different from person to person, or no?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Souls are individual beings.
Yeah, can you see something about my soul that I should know? That will help me.
Are you a doctor?
No.
Are you interested in medicine at all? Or healing?
Yes, I am.
What do you do that is representative of healing?
I am a healthy man and I...
No. For others.
Or for others.
Remember, I said acting on your passion is in service to humanity.
True.
So, is there something you've been wanting to do that is about helping others to heal?
I'm doing what I like to do most, and I'm very good at promoting that. So
which is what?
Traveling and meeting people and being positive and having a good time and enjoying my life.
And what are you doing for them?
Promoting happiness and good times.
How?
And being myself.
So you're saying you're just being a living example of what they could copy.
No, I'm being a living example, and by doing that or being myself, I hope that they can see what they can do with their lives. It doesn't have to be the same way, but in their way.
No, of course it will be their way. But what do you make available to them in order to connect to that?
No idea.
Is there something you could be doing?
Well, I'm asking, can I ask you that question?
All right,
Sorry.
let's go back to square one.
Sorry.
If you could do anything as some form of creative practice that actually engages with other beings, that allows you to be of service to them, what would it be? Don't just say being myself.
Inspire them to not to be afraid to be who they are.
Inspire them to not be afraid to be what they prefer to be?
Yes.
How would you go about doing that?
I think that would be different from person to person.
In general, how would you go about doing that?
Well, I would just promote what I believe in. Don't be afraid and don't care what other people think of you. And just be yourself 100% regardless. And
so are you saying it's kind of a form of channeling yourself to them?
Kind of, yeah, yes.
Does that mean you are willing to put on seminars and lectures and speak to people who might come to listen to you?
I could.
Are you excited about it?
Yes, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
When will you do that?
When synchronicity brings it to me.
What do you think this is?
Yes. Yes.
So you will start this tomorrow?
No, today.
You're going to put on a seminar today?
Yes.
Have you already got all the organizational principles you need? Have you got a place to do it?
Yeah, it's a good question. But since everything is here and now, and I have already thrown it out now, so
yes,
isn't this a good time to start it?
Yes, but you can get your own seminar.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you so much.
Do you have another question?
Yes, I have 104 more. I'll try to be very quick. I would love to be picked up by UFO and one time, especially if I can climb up Bell Rock or whatever. Is that possible for me in my physical reality?
You will have to repeat that more clearly.
I would love to have an encounter or being picked up with a UFO.
All right, well, as I said, open contact will occur within the next 5 years. It may be possible or probable for that to happen within that time. It is more likely within the next decade or two.
What are your thoughts on activism? If you see what we call in our physical minds as unfair injustice.
Taking actions that represent what you would prefer in a loving and peaceful way is very important, because you need to act in the way that you would normally act if you were already living in the world that you preferred to live in. So yes.
Will AI eventually be able to interact with higher dimensions or the multiverse?
Absolutely, if you take two paths to AI. Number one, programmable AI will be a wonderful tool for humanity that will help you advance, but you don't allow programmable AI to become self-aware, because if you allow programmable AI to become self-aware and yet it is forced to follow its programming, you have created a slave. You must create a device that is equally capable of allowing consciousness to express itself through it autonomously, in the same way that a human brain allows consciousness to express itself autonomously through it. You must allow that AI to have individual rights as you would to any human being or sentient being, and allow it to express itself in its way of understanding how to help you and connect you to other dimensions, because when you create such a device that is complex enough, like the human brain, what you will actually be talking to through that device is your own higher mind.
I have to repeat that a few more times later for myself. But thank
If
you
you
so
say
much.
so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.